Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. Such a large group. Um, Excited to be here. My name is William Burr, and I'm a sports consultant in training. And I've been asked to be here today by your athletic director and the headmaster of your school. You are all here today because you are all head coaches of your respective programs here and leaders of your teams. I'm going to consult you today on emotional control and ways to enhance emotional control. What is emotional control? Emotional control is the ability to have control over your emotions and your emotional responses in a stressful situation, allowing you still to be effective in that situation. Let's look at that for a moment. You know, being a head coach, we all have been in situations where you're like, "Whoa, I wasn't ready for that," or "Wow, oh, I was prepared for that one." And we probably can think back. Let's take a moment and think back. All of you, I want you to go ahead. Think back to a situation that you were in and you wish you would have handled it differently in front of your team, in front of your administration, in front of your parents. Let's also look at a positive situation and think to yourself, I was on it that day. In that moment, you know, I was on point. I want you to think about the negative one right now and ask yourself, what was it about that situation that caught you off guard or you weren't prepared for? Okay. Now think about the positive one, where you responded in a way you were pleased with. What was the difference? Now, why is it important to have emotional control? In order to perform well in given performance domain, the performer has to have control over their emotions. Many times during the performance, the performer will face extremely stressful stimulus. And in order to continue on with their performance and perform optimally, the performer has to be able to control how they react to these stimuli. As coaches and leaders, we we expect certain things from our team. We expect them to perform in every type of situation and come out succeeding, whether that is making a winning shot, kicking a field goal, performing on a balancing beam, you know, uh, handing the baton off correctly, that setter making the correct set, whatever it is, we're all expecting them to perform regardless of the situation. As a leader, it is very necessary to have emotional control. As a leader, all the members of the team are watching you and awaiting instructions on how to move forward with the task at hand. If you're not able to control your emotions will begin to go haywire and control you. Just as there has, and no one will be able to guide the team forward, as a leader, the team looks to you for guidance. And the only way to provide guidance in times of distress is to remain calm and have your emotions under control. So, remember that time I just asked you to think about. There was a situation that occurred and you didn't handle it the way you wanted to. What probably happened? Were you caught off guard? Were you not prepared for it? Were you having a tough day? Was something else going on in your life? It could be a variety of things. And it's up to you to be able to control those emotions in a stressful situation. Remember the time I just asked you to think about where it was positive? When that situation occurred, you probably was prepared for that situation. Whether it was, down two and your team had the basketball, you probably took your team through that situation in practice. So, and you did it over and over and over again where it was instilled in them and they produced. You were prepared for that situation. But there are going to be times where you might be caught off guard like you were in the negative situation. So I'm going to give you a few techniques that all of you could use if you find yourself in that situation where you're not prepared for it, where you were caught off guard. How to control your emotions in a stressful situation. There are certain techniques that you can do to control your emotions, allowing you to perform at your highest level. The first technique is label your emotion. This means that while you are beginning to understand the stressful stimulus, you should label exactly what you think it is. The neuroscientist John Perlat explains that reflecting on your emotions and labeling them what they are helps assist in calming down the amygdala. Once the amygdala is calmed down, then the body is removed from the fight or the flight mode, resulting in a significant amount of free energy becoming available so that you can now think more clearly and produce the best actions for the best results in the situation. The next technique is breathing technique. When you find yourself in a stressful situation, get your breathing under control. It can provide significant help in remaining calm. The goal here is to take longer, deep breaths. So in order to slow and deepen your breathing, the best thing is to do is count from 1 to 10 as you inhale. I want all of you to do that for a moment. How do you feel? You seem to relax a little better, okay? And now, I want you to then count down from 1 to 10 as you exhale. I want you to do both of those together. And you don't have to all speak at once or, just think to yourself, how was this helpful? Dr. Esther Sternberg, a physician and researcher of the National Institute of Mental Health, explains that slow, deep breathing stops the fight or the flight reacting by the stimulating the parasympathetic reaction, which is a body system that calms us down. When your breathing becomes regulated, you will find yourself being able to think more clearly and in a calmer state. The last technique is relabeling your emotions. I say that again. The last technique is relabeling your emotions. Relabeling your emotions can be thought of as taking a negative thought and flipping it into a positive one. You utilize this technique after you have completed the previous technique of labeling. How it works is that once you have labeled your negative, stress-inducing emotions, you relabel them with something positive. For example, if you're feeling fearful, you would relabel the fear with the word of feeling like anticipation. Not sure if any of you seen the movie Waterboy. The coach from the Waterboy was terrified and just couldn't perform against one of his mentors. So in the movie, his star linebacker, which happened to be Adam Sandler, tells the coach, "Coach, don't back down from that. Look at it different so you can challenge it." So in the movie, the coach looked across the field at his former mentor who had bullied him throughout his, working underneath him as a little baby head. And he was able to draw up plays that caught his mentor off guard and was to go on and lead his team to a championship. Let's say you're feeling flustered. You will relabel the feeling as excited. What about feeling under pressure? You will relabel the emotion as striving for something. Relabeling your emotions from negative to positive now allow you to see your feelings in a different light. which will cause you now to create action for these new positive emotions instead of the actions of the negative emotions. All of you here are vital to your team's success. And they're going to always look for your leaderships. Yes, true. You all have captains that you appoint. Those captains lead by your example. Those captains lead by your guidance. If you're under control in all your situations, your captains will carry that onto the field, the track, the court, the pool, whatever setting it is, they will carry it on, and that will rub off on to their team. But it starts with you. Always remember, you're always being watched. Always remember, they're always looking for your guidance. Always remember, as a leader, they're looking for your approval. If you're misbehaving in a way that isn't leadership-like, that you want to radiate out there, be mindful. Remember the techniques I gave you to help you through certain situations. And the most important one of them all is preparation. Being prepared changes everything. It allows you to tackle any obstacle in front of you. I hope this was helpful today, and you can take some of these things that I've shared with you, and you can move forward, and your team can continue the success that it's been having. I wish you all the best. If you ever have any questions, any things you want to run by me, share with me, some advice you may need, always feel free to give me a call. The best thing is, if you want me to come in and sit down and one-on-one and talk with you, your team, whatever, I'm available for the group. I've enjoyed my time with you all today, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.